Hi everyone, welcome back to elearningbridge. I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe. So guys, this video is not going to about any company specific interview experience, but this is something much more important, which is system designing. Because I received a lot of queries from different folks like students, freshers, entry-level freshers, and even experienced people. And they had some really genuine doubts like, I'm a fresher, do I need to study system designing? Do company expect this kind of knowledge from us? I'm an entry level fresher or I'm an experienced person, then how much should I prepare for the system designing to appear into the product based companies? What is LLD? What is HLD? Which one is important for freshers? Which one is important for the experienced people? How to approach a system designing question? What are some important topics, question components do I need to know? So these are some important genuine doubts, and to answer these questions I have called someone really special on my YouTube channel. Previously I had a discussion regarding this with 𝗂𝗏. Click on the I button and you will see that video. But today I have Yogita Sharma. She has a wonderful industrial experience. She started from service based company, moved into startups, and then working for good product based companies. And she is also running an amazing YouTube channel named as 𝗬𝗏𝗏. You should definitely go check that out. She is putting very amazing content regarding this system designing. So that is the entire agenda of this entire podcast. So this is going to be super informative for you. Don't miss any second of it. And if you want this kind of content in future, then make sure to hit the subscribe button, press the notification icon, and don't forget to put your thoughts, doubts and questions in the comment regarding anything. Okay guys, so before starting this video, I would like to thank 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 people across the globe to excel their professional skills by providing awesome and high-rated online courses. And now Adyonics has launched their most awaited subscription plan where you can get access more than 2000 plus courses within $499 per month. So today I will give you a walkthrough of their subscription plan and what kind of things you will be getting there. After opting any subscription plan, this will be the home page where you can create your profile, your interest, your skill sets, and based on your skill set, it will help Adyonics to recommend best of the best courses available for you. Now here you can track the activities, your weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, and it is basically a summary kind of page, kind of badges you have earned for different courses and the level you have achieved so far and your course progress. Here we can see our course progress and other details. There we can set our goals and targets monthly, weekly, yearly, and here the levels we have covered so far, the badges and the stats. Now to know more about different courses and relevant things for you, this is the part where you need to explore. These are the options like live training, what are going on, you can join from there, e-degrees like on different trending technologies, blockchain, JavaScript, Python, data science and data engineering. And in the course section we have different categories based on your professional career. We can definitely go for different courses, different skill sets are available and awesome course is created for the same. Here you can check different deals and the path for upcoming trending technologies. What is more demanding in the 2020 yearly wise, you will be getting all such kind of recommendation, what are the new skill sets coming in every year, and you will be getting those updated courses in the Adyonics. So hope you will find this subscription plan really good. Definitely check it out and opt these opportunities. These are available for very limited time. Link is in the description. Go and check these plans, opt it and excel your professional skills. So without any further delay, let's move on to the podcast part. Okay, so hey guys, today we have a very special guest, Yogita Sharma, and you can treat her like a tough competitor for Gaurav Sen. So sorry Gaurav. Okay, so Yogita, first of all, the introductory session as usual, like tell us about yourself and my audience, like tell them about yourself and how has your industrial journey been so far?
Okay, so I had been working for about 8 years now, and I started with TCS. Not many people know that, but I was in TCS for only I think 5 months, and the trend of tier 3 college and TCS to product based, yeah, I did all of that. So I am from a not a tier 3 but yeah tier 2 college. It's a state regional college, JEC, and I graduated in computer science from there. And obviously there was no placements, no companies. So eventually I ended up in TCS. I was there for 5 months, but obviously I never wanted to go there. I always wanted to go to a product-based company. So then I made a move to one of the companies called 𝗬𝗀𝘀𝗀𝗀. It was into B2B startups. So I learned a great deal
Okay.
there, and then I joined the startup Handsome.io. I worked there for 3 years as a backend engineer. I was one of the core engineers in the team. Like I think I was the eighth engineer to join. And
Okay.
then I came to Dubai. I got a job in
Wow.
Kareem, which is acquired by Uber. So yeah, it has been a year now. I came here last year. So yeah, it has been a good journey so far, and it's still going.
Yep.
And lockdown gave me time to start a YouTube channel, so I did that.
Such a wonderful journey, like how she started and how it is going. So perfect, Yogita. Now, next question for you. Like as you said, like this lockdown given you this opportunity. Same for me. Like in this lockdown, I started my YouTube channel as well. So like next question would be like you own a YouTube channel where you create videos on system designing. So this is going to be an important question as well. So as per the latest trend of interviews, why knowing about this system designing has become so important?
Yeah, I would say indeed that that's a very good question. And if you
Yeah.
think about it, that when the internet and the e-commerce boom came, and with the increased computation power and storage power, we are able to provide services to million people, right? And earlier, only the
Yeah.
companies like Google and Amazon and Facebooks of the world used to do this. That they used to have planet scale systems, right? With the advent of internet
Yeah.
era and all the startups popping up like anything like since 2011 or 12, there is a huge demand of building highly available, highly scalable and reliable systems, highly performant systems, because the business demands are like that. And with that as well, other businesses caught up, and we have AWS and GCP and players of that sort providing us the compute power and everything. With advent of that, it became I would say that it became very critical that people do understand how systems are built, how large scale systems are built, because it has been past and present, and it is going to be the future. I mean, I know people talk about AI and ML, that is a different domain,
Yeah.
but system design is something like you have to know how would you build systems on a large scale, how would you build planet scale systems. If you have that skill, I would say it would be very indispensable.
Yeah, that's correct. And that's the kind of explanation I wanted from you, Yogita, because people know, they know that companies are going to ask this system designing questions, but they just prepare it like it's a part of interview. They don't consider it as a engineering, like it is going to be a part of your engineering life. You will be designing the systems. So thanks for like justifying that one, that why it is so important. So I'll move on to the next question, Yogita. Like lots of freshers have this confusion whether companies will ask system design questions to them or not, because mostly they used to think this round is especially for the experienced folks. If I divide these entire thing, you can say in three categories, like final year students and entry level freshers and experience level folks. Then for which category system design is most important from the interview perspective?
I am really glad you asked that question, because I am working with some of the engineers from all the big companies to build a script around this same topic, that would you be eligible for a system design interview or not. And I would say,
Yeah.
as a fresher, even the bigger companies do not expect you to have system design knowledge or experience, because it's a
Okay.
skill that comes from experience. Until and unless you have built systems, how would you know how to design a system, right? See, data
Correct.
structures and algorithms is something that you can practice on paper and IDs. But system design, like, okay, you can learn concepts, but then when it comes to implementation and hands-on practice and experience, that you can gain from a company only, right? I am,
Yeah.
bashing my brains to find out a way to give hands-on experience to, college students, but I have still not gotten around to do it. So yeah, I would say for freshers, not so much important. For 3 years
Okay.
experienced, some like basic system design, especially 3 years experienced students or engineers, they would require to have good hand on object oriented skills and low level design, what we call as LLD. And if you are more than
Okay.
3 years experienced in backend systems and like more than 5, 6, 7, then definitely this should be your master skill. You should be able to uh, design good systems. You should be able to define the requirements, understand the requirements, and lay out the whole design, high level and low level. how to meet those requirements. So for experienced people greater than 3 years, I would say it is absolutely mandatory, and it is not something that could be learned overnight.
Yeah, that's correct. And it's really good to see that how you divided that like must to have thing, like this is must to have for the experienced people, or if it is important for the freshers or not. So I'm pretty sure now your doubts are clear that if it is important for me or not, now you can decide by your own. So Yogita, next question, like in the previous question you talked about this LLD and HLD, right? So next question would be, if you want to explain then what is the difference between LLD and HLD, and in interviews which one is important for fresher and which one is important for the experienced folks.
Okay. So I would say for freshers, LLD is more important for freshers, and again for people who are about 3 years experience. For greater than 3 years experience, both have to be important, like LLD plus HLD. Now, if we come to define LLD and HLD, then think about it. If you are asked to design an e-commerce system, then you would, on high level, you would have to design a website which can take orders, process payments, ship out the orders, handle user queries, and there would be so many components in that high level design, right? And you would have to worry about the scale of the system, how many orders you can process, how many items you can save and show in the inventory on the search page of that e-commerce site, right? All of this will come in high level design. And then with this high level design, there comes the complexity, like what is the performance of the system, how much scale the system can survive, and when it will fail, and how to handle those failures. This is HLD. When we come to LLD, that means you pick one component from that and you then talk about the implementation perspective of that component. So let's say in this e-commerce setup, the HLD the part, I picked up payments. So payment is going to be one service which is going to take care of credit card payments, cash payments, generating invoices, and so on and so forth. So then that payment service, how the classes are going to look like, how you are going to model the data, how that service is going to talk to database, what kind of processing and business logic will sit inside that service, the class diagram and the responsibility of that service, and then coming to the design patterns which you will use to implement those classes and models. That comes under low-level design. So when you are a fresher, maybe low-level design wouldn't be asked to you directly, or maybe you would be asked to design a very small system, like design a calculator, design a parking lot, like that, right? If you're 3 years experienced, you would be expected to code all of it. So I myself have given interviews in Flipkart and Amazon and Microsoft and etc. So when I was around 3-4 years experienced, these were the questions that I got, right? Like in one of the companies, I was supposed to write a whole logging service. Like I had to design how a logging service would look like, and then I have to code it up, and I was given like 3 to 4 hours for that. So I think in some companies this is also called as machine coding. Yeah, so this is what is the expectation of 3 to 4 years, and when you get to 7-8 years experience, then of course you have to be good at HLD, and once you explain them the HLD, then they will pick one component and ask you to draw the component diagram of that in LLD terms, like object oriented and class diagram of one of the components. So for 7-8 years, everything is important. For 3 years, focus on LLD a lot. And for freshers, just master your DSLO game.
All right. Thank you so much, Yogita. I mean, just for giving this brief explanation about the LLD and HLD and what is important for which one. So guys, people who don't know, Yogita has a wonderful channel named as Pseudocode. Definitely you should go and check it out. I was one who was following 𝗁𝙗, but now that's what I said. She's a tough competitor for him. And I'm sorry, 𝗁𝙗, I'm saying that, but you'll be my idol like always. But Yogita, she has a wonderful content. I started checking out her content, and it's wonderful. I'm a data engineer, and the things she has talked about, the designs and the talking to the services, databases, I used to do that, right? Although I'm not a core software engineer who used to play with the microservices, APIs and all, but still I can relate what important things she's talking about. So definitely you should focus according to your experience, what is important for you. And at the end, in the industry, you are not going to implement DP in the single day. Probably after 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you probably get a chance. But this is going to be your day-to-day activity, playing with the systems. All right, so...
And Gaurav, he's kidding. They are very good.
Gaurav is gonna kill me for sure. Okay, so Yogita, as per your experience, what is the best way to approach a system design problem in the interviews?
Okay, so you want to know about the preparation process, or once you're in the room with a interviewer, and then how to approach?
In the interview room, like how it is gonna be.
Oh, okay. So I would say that be comfortable. Do not treat it as an interview, because system design round is just like another day when some product person or some senior engineers will come to you with a problem, and they would want to know how would you go about that problem. So the first and foremost step to go about that is ask them the functional and non-functional requirements. Like ask them like non-functional requirements, the performance, scale, reliability, SLAs, etc. Then functional requirements like what are you expecting this service to implement or this system to achieve? How many DB transactions are we looking at? What is the scale of data we are looking at? How much
Okay.
latency and throughput would be required? How would the performance of the system look like? Right, and also try to understand the business logic. Like what is the business logic behind that? Over which this whole system has to be built. So start from there and ask
Okay.
a lot of questions. Ask questions until you're clear what has to be built. If you think about a small system, like let's say parking lot, the questions could be very easy. How many cars? How many levels? At a time, what can we do? For how long a car can stay in parked state? Such kind of questions. So ask questions, list down all the questions. Then after you list down the questions, try to break the whole design into different components which solve those problems one by one. Then try to connect all those components. And once you do that, the most important part in any system design interview is you should know when and how the system is going to fail. You should be able to point out that, okay, I have designed this, but this is the trade off. We will be available, but we won't be consistent. Or we will be consistent, but we won't be able to provide high availability of the system. Or this is fine, but the latency will be high. Or the latency will be low, but then we might end up with eventual consistency. Or this is a single point of failure, and this is how I will solve it. So system design, as I say, it's always a game of trade-offs. It's not, there is no one correct answer. Like if you go online and try to search design Uber, you will get so many flavors. And that is true. Uber could have been built in so many ways. It's just you should know what you are building, what are the pros and cons of the system that you have designed, where it will fail, and what are the metrics or the components or the failures that you are okay with. That okay, we are okay with this failure, let it be. And what are the failures that what are the points that you cannot compromise on? That we cannot give up availability. We cannot afford our system to be not available. So we will give up consistency. We'll end up with eventual consistency.
Okay.
Single point of failures, how the system is going to fail, what are the single point of failures, what are the performance bottlenecks. When you reach till this exercise, and believe me, you will not reach till this point just by watching videos or reading books. You have to work, you have to have experience with real systems. You have to get a call at 4 a.m. with a production outage and solve it, and then you will learn it the hard way. but but if you reach till this stage in any interview, the interviewer will know that you are an experienced candidate and you know how to handle the system, and from then it will be an easier journey, I think.
Yep, that's correct. And that last line, like you'll get a call at a 4 a.m. something like that. It was hitting me hard.
I still dread. I mean, I like on calls, but I hate on calls. It's a love-hate relationship. I can't explain the fear.
People who are in this profession, they definitely understand that how painful it is sometimes. So that's what, like we used to focus on creating a scalable, optimized system so that at least we can minimize this pain, right? So yep, Yogita, let's move on to the next question. Okay, so let's say as an interviewer, you are an interviewer and you are taking an interview for a candidate, and since you are very good in system design, probably this would be the section you will be focusing more. So as an interviewer, what is your expectation? Because if we talk about the system designing, nobody can design a perfect system, right? As an interviewer, what would be your expectation from the candidate if you ask any system design question?
Okay. So I would have a previous idea about the level of knowledge that particular candidate would have, because I would have feedback from other interviews, and I would
Okay.
have gone through his or her resume. So I would have an idea. So I will try to gauge the knowledge of that person by the type of questions that person asks. Okay,
Okay.
so that will give me an idea on what level this person is, like how much experience he or she has with systems, and according to that, I'll see what are the kind of questions he or she is asking. If given his knowledge and experience level, if they ask expected questions, good. If they ask better questions, better. And if they ask very trivial questions and not getting where they are going, then I might try to hint them or direct them towards the part that I want them to focus on.
Okay.
And then I would see that given the toolbox that they have or the kind of systems they have worked on, given the toolbox in their head, how they approach a particular problem, how they try to solve it. Are they able to find out the problems with the system? Are they able to, design a system? Maybe they would design a big system, and a part of the system would be very performant, and a part of it might not be very performant.
Yeah.
So it would be like, okay, that okay, fine, you know this much, so you have designed it perfectly. Whatever you know, you have applied it properly. So basically, if we summarize, I would see, given the toolbox and knowledge that a candidate has, can they apply it to solve a problem?
Okay.
And also, I will definitely focus on that whether the candidate is giving multiple solutions to me. Like if the candidate is able to think like this is one way, this is second way, this is third way. This is wrong with first, this is wrong with second, this is wrong with third, and that's how we will decide. Or maybe we can have a hybrid approach. If that that intuition and that creativity is there and critical thinking is there, plus a certain amount of knowledge, then that's what I would try to gauge.
So Yogita, now we have talked about a lot on the different things of system designing. Next would be like in terms of the tech stack, like what would be 5-10 important things which you think people should definitely know in order to design the like scalable systems, because there are multiple things we are like different people is working on different thing, and as you said, like probably as someone like don't know about the caching, right, and she and he couldn't had it implemented. So that's what, if you expect someone to be good in the system designing part, then name at least 5-10 important tech stack that they should definitely know.
Okay. So I would say, like, not in terms of uh, the technology, like
Okay.
maybe like MongoDB or MySQL, but I would say in terms of concepts.
Yeah.
So know good data stores. I would say knowledge of MySQL and relational databases and non-relational databases is a must. Non-relational databases has a huge array. Maybe knowledge of one or two of them, or how basic key value stores work.
Okay.
That is a must. Then know about caching a bit. Know about scaling, load balancing, experience of and knowledge of some of the cloud providers like AWS or GCP. That also helps. Just understand what are the services they provide, how the infrastructure works, and then again knowledge of CI/CD pipelines. Like you should know that how CI/CD pipelines work inside a company, because that's a huge part. And infra related things also, like you should, if you are coding the applications, you should know how to deploy them, how to monitoring them. So knowledge about monitoring, performance, all these basic concepts, API design, I would say, is very important.
Okay.
And fundamentals of microservices architecture, fundamental of distributed systems. So if you have all these tools in your toolbox, then you would be able to build upon these concepts. So yeah, that's all.
All right. So like these would be the kind of must to know things like in order to build a good system.
Right.
Okay.
And when it comes to languages, I would just say that have mastery over one object-oriented language.
Okay.
Like if you are really, really good at Java, it is not necessary that you have to know Golang and Python and PHP and blah, blah, blah. You will learn other language very quickly.
Okay.
So just have mastery over one or two languages. That I would definitely say, to develop that kind of intuition, and have knowledge of design patterns of that particular language, so that you can be very good at low-level design as well.
All right. Perfectly fine. So, okay, Yogita, we have talked about these things. I think you have a good knowledge of system design question. Then why don't you tell some important, you can say at least 10 important system design question that someone can face in the interviews. That would be good for our audience to know as well.
Okay, sure. So I know the lists that are very common around the internet, list systems like design Uber, Facebook, Instagram, and image storage system, and this and that. I have faced many system design interviews, and none of them were asked to be.
Okay.
So I was asked like completely off the track questions. But I would say that learning about these systems would help. So I can tell you a set of 10 problems, but I would want the audience to keep in mind that from these 10 questions, focus on different components and their behavior and the kind of problem these are solving. For example, don't focus on design Uber.
Okay.
Focus on a ride-hailing problem. Like how would you design a ride-hailing system, or how would you design a grocery delivery system,
okay,
or a food delivery system? All of them would come in under same category, right? Then learn about infinite scroll systems like newsfeed systems like Facebook or Instagram or Quora.
Okay.
Then learn about image storage systems like the systems which serve images and videos on a very large scale. Systems like Hotstar, Netflix, Prime Video, etc. Then know about some of the capacity estimation systems, because I was asked, like this was one of the system design questions that I was asked. I was just given one liner that you have to push update to 3 billion devices in 3 days. How would you do that? This was just one question. That's it. So this is a very typical question of capacity estimation. So know about the network layer, how much data can be transferred from one machine to another machine, how much time it takes to get transferred from one region to another region, like across the globe, the latency of the system. So capacity planning, I would say focus on capacity planning questions, and then also focus on some of the questions related to authentication and cyber security. For example, the questions like saving passwords or handling a large user authentication system, and then again user authorization system. So yeah, this is the whole category of systems that you can learn about.
Okay.
And yeah, again, in any system design question, it will boil down to data, the scale, the performance, how are you going to handle the failures. So just try to pick up patterns from these questions and understand those patterns. See how tools are applied to solve those patterns, and then when you get some other kind of questions, you should know how to apply it. Because trust me, if you have done the design Uber, if you have by hearted it, okay, and then you go into an interview and they give you the same question like design Ola or Uber, and if you are going to just say whatever you have learned by heart, they will catch it within a minute, and it will not be pleasant. They don't want to know that whatever you have by heart, can you say it or not. They want to know, do you understand concepts and can you apply those?
Okay, correct.
So yeah, I'm sorry, like this went a little on, but I just want people to understand that focus on concepts and application rather than learning only questions.
Yep. I completely agree. Like if I'm only practicing set of 20 questions, let's say designing Uber, Instagram, and as you said, and then probably I get a different problem statement. How would I design it? Because I have just watched a YouTube video to design an Uber, right? So your point is perfectly correct, that just know the components, how those were implemented in that Uber designing question. Probably somebody asked me to design Ola, right? Or something like that. I can do it, right? So that's correct. Yep, Yogita, I have one more question for you, and probably that would be the last one. After that, I have something for you, like to know you as a person. Will be a rapid fire round. Let's say when you were entry level fresher, this is basically your start period, right? When you were a entry level fresher, that what kind of challenges did you face in your professional career, and what kind of mistakes you did while interviewing in different companies or even working with different companies?
Okay, so I'll try to answer this in two parts. First, I'll list out the challenges, and second, I'll list out the mistakes that I made. So the challenges that I faced was I didn't find the right resources at the right time, or I would rather say I didn't have the skill to find right resources at right time. Nowadays, if you join a company and they say that we are building front-end systems on React, or we are working on Java or Golang, you can quickly go to YouTube or any other courses and quickly learn within 10 days or so and start contributing. So I didn't know that. I had a really hard time learning all the new technologies, and I didn't know how to search or how to Google properly or how to take online courses. So I struggled a lot with basic technologies like HTML and CSS, and I had a really hard time. But after 2-3 years, I got a hang of it, and then I was given an opportunity to learn Java within 2 months and start contributing to the whole set of APIs. by that time I knew how to do that. So that skill helped. So that was one of the challenge. Second was I wanted to move from front end to back end, and that became a chicken egg problem. I was applying for back end positions, but they said you don't have back end experience. At my company, I was saying that I want to contribute to back end, but they said no, you don't have back end experience. So I don't have experience, but I want to work on it. So how would that happen? But luckily, in my second startup, the founders were very good. So they said that, okay, we will allow you to work on backend. So I made that transition. That was the second biggest challenge. And third challenge was that it took me some time to accept that with computer science, this learning is never going to stop.
Correct.
It is never going to happen that I can just, work 8 hours and chill. I have to stay updated. I have to keep learning. I have to commit to non-stop learning for life if I want to be in this field. So that also I learned the hard way. But once that happened, it became easy.
Okay.
So yeah, these were the challenges. Coming to interview mistakes, one mistake that I really made for my Google interview, I still regret it. I did not practice with a timer.
Okay.
I was able to solve problems, I was able to get solutions, but I never did it with a timer. So I never had an idea about the time, like in how much time I am solving a particular problem. So in the interviews, it happened that I solved all the problems, but turned out that they wanted me to solve it faster so that they can ask a follow-up question. And I didn't know that.
Okay.
That is the biggest mistake. Anyone who is preparing for coding interviews, please do practice with a timer. I took the advice of practicing on pen and paper and whiteboard. So I did that, but I forgot to use timer. That is one mistake. Second is I thought I thought that I will prepare for 3 months and then we'll go for interview, and then I will prepare for 4 months and gain all the knowledge and then go for interview. So I kept postponing interviews. And the secret recipe to come out with flying colors in interviews is never stop interviewing.
Okay.
Keep interviewing. Even though you don't want to join, I know this is not good for companies because you leave them hanging. But once in 2-3 months, just keep giving interviews. During your lunchtime, keep participating in coding challenges. Just don't get rusty. Otherwise, when you want to change the jobs, it becomes really hard. Then you have to focus 2-3 hours a day and take out a lot of time. So yeah, I would say that never stop interviewing. So by the time you go to one of your dream companies, you will be so accustomed to coding on pen and paper that it will be very easy for you. And I think the nervousness is the factor which hurts a lot because we don't prepare a lot. So that is the second mistake that I made. And obviously for system design also, I made this mistake that I only prepped for LLD and I didn't know that I was supposed to prepare for HLD also. That's when I came to know about Gaurav's playlist, and since then it's a history.
Nice. So these are the really common challenges and mistake we used to do. That's why, since you are an experienced person with the good companies, startups, service-based firms as well, so I thought this could be worth listening for the audience as well. All right, so we are done with this technical part, talking about system designing and all. So Yogita, probably I'll start asking some random questions, probably your personal taste and how you are as a person. So first thing, I like icebreaker kind of rapid fire question. What is your favorite movie?
There are two.
Okay.
One is obviously 𝗙𝗏𝘅 Redemption, and another is Jim.
Second one? Okay, nice. Okay, next question. Probably I don't know about your status, but still, name actor who you want to date.
No one.
Whoa, that's I can't believe it.
No, seriously, no one.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay. Third one. Name a country which you want to visit anyhow. Before leaving this planet, you want to visit that country anyhow.
Okay, so I wanted to visit Germany.
Okay.
But I think I'm going there very soon. So, but there is no preference. But yeah, I am traveling to the countries that I always wanted to.
Wow, nice. Okay, so next one, things which you don't like to do, one important or the top priority thing which you don't like to do as a person.
This is going to be a very funny answer. And I don't know what audience are going to think. I don't like folding clothes.
Okay.
Like, not at all. Like, I do not like any aspect of laundry.
I can imagine you,
Not at
Almira.
all.
I can imagine you, Almira.
It sounds like very brat thing to say that, oh, I don't want to do my laundry, but yeah, I really do not want to. But since I have OCD, I do it every day.
Okay.
But I don't like to do that.
Cool. But this is a very different answer. I'm like hearing from a like girl. You can say like they are very obsessed with their clothing and organizing the things. But that's really a different answer.
Yeah, I'm obsessed, but I know, I am obsessed with organization, and I do it out of that obsession itself, right? But I do not like it.
Okay.
If I can pay someone to do that for me, I'll do.
Okay, cool. All right. So next one, most beautiful, or you can say a motivational moment of your life. Like everybody has those kind of moments. Beautiful, you can say motivational or attached, something which you will remember forever. What was that moment?
Okay. So there are many.
Okay.
Can I talk about
Yeah,
two?
definitely, definitely.
Okay, so first one is in my school. We used to have debate competitions and eloquence competitions, and I tried delivering once, and I was literally shivering, and I had to come off stage in the mid because I couldn't speak.
Okay.
And then one of my teachers called me and said that, Yogita, you can do this. Just go to your home, take this paper, look in the mirror, and practice, practice, and practice. I did that straight for 2 months, and then I delivered a speech. And the principal of my school called me separately in her office to congratulate me that she has never heard such well articulated speech before.
Wow.
So that was a huge win for me. That moment made me realize that we can achieve anything we set our mind. Anything is possible. That was one. And second was when I was in Handsome.io, I had this co-founder. He's a very good friend now, Parminder Singh. So I told him that, Pam, I don't know how to write Java, and I don't know how I am going to do this. I don't even know J of Java, and I don't know how I am going to do this. So he said, yeah, it's not a big deal. You don't know it today, you will know it tomorrow. You can do it very easy. And the day he said this, and just exactly 2 years after that, I was leading a very big project in that company.
Wow.
So again, his words gave me so much motivation that, my growth was like 20x in those 2 years. So yeah, these are the two moments.
Nice. And that's the kind of leader we want in our organizations.
Yeah, definitely. He put so much confidence in me that I didn't have in myself, and I would say we need to believe in ourselves like that. Like you should have that much belief in yourself. Like if you have decided you can do it, you can.
Yep. Thanks to Pam, I'm like Parminder, his name was, or Pam, like your friend is. So thank you so much for motivating Yogita, and now we can see a gem in front of us. Next one, Yogita, for you. If you are not a software engineer, then what?
Psychologist.
Wow. Psychologist. Okay. So, do you can you read minds?
No, I can't read minds, but I have had many people in my life. This will get a bit serious. I don't want it to get serious, but yeah, I have seen many people battling with depression, and they don't even know that it's depression. And I think that I am really good at being a friend and caring, and I think that if I'm not a software engineer and if I'm a psychologist, I would really love my job to help out people. So yeah.
Okay, that's like so sweet. Like you understand the folks around you because people lack in it, and in that way, people used to take worse decisions of their life, and people can understand what I'm talking about. So, Yogita, I think I know this answer. Like, do you love programming a lot or the system designing? I know the answer. But still, let's say I asked same question to girl, right? Let's say I give you an opportunity like after 10 years, right? Yogita, there is a competitive programming challenge is happening, and there is something, a new architecture has came up, and you need to learn it. What would be the one you will pick for?
This is a very hard question, but yeah, I would go for architecture. I like systems.
Cool, nice. Next one, probably the last rapid fire question. Your 3 favorite tech YouTubers apart from me.
Nice save. You saved me actually.
Yep. So yep, go ahead, Yogita.
So Gaurav is going to think that this is Maska because I don't know why. He cannot believe that he inspires me, but he does. So yeah, Gaurav Singh, first and foremost. Then 𝗬𝘁𝙎. I really like that guy, and he also inspired me. I think he has some million, like 8 million followers, and he teaches physics in the best possible way.
Okay.
So he's the second one, and third one is I am sure you would know about this channel, but okay, sorry, but you asked about
Yeah.
YouTubers. So yeah, Gaurav and 𝗬𝘁𝙎, and third one I would say,
Mhm.
gosh, there are so many.
Mhm.
You know the ASAP science guys.
ASAP Science. Probably I have seen their videos. I'm not sure, like probably long time back, but I can definitely remember this name.
Yeah, it's those are like
Yeah,
two
yeah.
guys, like couple, and they make sciencey videos and they make it very
Okay.
interesting. So yeah.
Cool. Nice to know. Like Gaurav is on top. Okay. So yeah, that was all about, guys, for this wonderful session with Yogita, and I'm pretty sure that you would have enjoyed it a lot because, like, she has drilled down into the importance of system designing and why you should learn it. What are the different aspects of it? Even in the interviews, like which one will be more important for you, how interviewer is going to react for it. So thank you so much, Yogita, for joining us today and like sharing the entire experience of yours, your industrial experience in the designing and architecting the thing. I'm pretty sure it is going to help a lot of people. And guys who don't know about the Yogita's channel, name is pseudocode. Go and do subscribe to it. Check out all the videos. You are going to get wonderful videos in coming days. So thank you so much, Yogita, from my side and from my audience side.
Thank you, Shashank. Thank you for having me here. The importance of a person who hosts a podcast is that you can ask me questions that I have never thought of
Yeah.
sharing. So that's really important. Like if you don't come up with these questions, people would be devoid of that knowledge that I would have given them because I myself never asked such questions to myself. So you are doing a really great
Thank you
job
so
here,
much.
and I hope that both of us created some value for your audience. So yeah, and all the best for your
Thank you
channel.
so much. So that was all about in this video, guys. I hope you would have liked this video with Yogita, whatever experience she had shared with us. If yes, then make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe the channel, and I will see you guys next weekend with another amazing content. So till then, just stay safe, stay home, take care of yourself and your family too.